Greetings, Woodland Middle School 7th grade students. I wanted to take this time to reiterate the discussion that I had with each class about our procedures and expectations on the 7th grade hall. This video will be our 7th grade documentation to your parents that you have been told all of the procedures and expectations for all of the 7th grade students. I've already pulled the attendance report for this block that you are viewing this video at this time because each teacher has already taken the attendance for this block. If I have to have, or any of your teachers have to have a parent conference, we will show this video to your parents and show them the attendance record report so that they know that you have received this video. So let's get right to it. The things that we talked about already. Let's make sure that we are clear about transition. When you all transition in the morning from the gym, from the cafeteria, off of your bus, or coming out of your car, going straight to homeroom, which is your literacy lab or homeroom class. You do not stop at the restroom. You do not stop at the water fountain. The only thing that you need to do is to go directly to your literacy block class or your homeroom class at the time. Also, when we transition from each class, from first block to second block to third block, which is connections, and coming back from connections to fourth block, it's imperative that you go directly to your class, especially when we go from first block to second block and from second block to third block. A dean, which is Mr. Hickerson, or an AP, which could be Ms. Simmons, someone will come over to your class as we have been doing since first semester. We will knock on the door. At that time, that one class will transition at that time. There is no reason for anyone to go to the restroom or to the water fountain. You need to go directly from your class to the very next class, especially since we dismiss one class at a time. When I come to a classroom, once that class has been dismissed, you need to go directly into your classroom. There should not be any students talking about, I need to go by this class to get this from another student. That is not the time to do that. We will allow you at a specific time once the hallways are clear and we are already inside the first 15 minutes of class. So do not ask to go to your locker in between transition. Do not ask to go to another classroom because I need to go get something from another student. I left something. I let somebody borrow something. At this time, when you transition to a specific class, you need to go directly to your specific class. Also, let's talk about locker schedules. You only go to your lockers twice each day. That is before homeroom or before literacy lab. That means as soon as you're coming down the hallway, you go directly to your locker, get everything that you need for the entire day. Also, you can only go to your locker during dismissal to the buses. You do not go to your locker in between first and second block. You do not go to your locker in between second and third block. You do not go to your locker after connections when heading to fourth block. You only go to your locker before literacy lab or before homeroom, and you go to your locker when heading to your bus for dismissal. If you know that you have materials to go to Ms. Blackman's class, or if you have materials to go to foreign language or to PE, you need to make sure that you already have those materials or belongings at the beginning of homeroom. If you are caught going to your locker outside of that locker schedule, I have purchased some zip ties and we will place these zip ties on your locker for a whole entire week. You will not be able to go back to your locker. Also, there are no sharing lockers. If you did not pay your homeroom teacher or your first block teacher, but again, your homeroom teacher for a locker, you do not put anything in somebody else's locker. If we catch you sharing lockers. Once we see 2 or 3 people at a locker, once again, a zip tie will go on that locker and you will not be able to have access to that locker again for an entire week. Also, when you are asked to go to the restroom, remember, when you receive a pass within the first and last 15 minutes, you need to go to the restroom and you need to go. If you're going to stop to get water, that's fine, but you only have 2 minutes to leave your classroom, go to the restroom. If you are going to get water on the way back from the restroom, that's fine, and then go directly to your class, because we are only allowing one student, not one boy and one girl, but only one student per class to go to the restroom in between the first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes of class. This is not a pass when you get a restroom permission, when you are able to go to the restroom. This is not time for you to go to Miss Carson or go to Student Services. You did not ask to go to Miss Carson or Student Services. If we catch you not only going to the restroom, but walking off the hallway saying, I had to go to Student Services, I had to go to Miss Carson, there will be consequences for that. When you ask to go to the restroom or to go get water, those are the expectations for you to do that. And you only have 2 minutes so that you can get back to the classroom so that other students can go to the restroom at that time. Also, there is no eating or drinking in the hallway or in the classrooms unless we are eating lunch in the classroom or there is some specific party that you're having in the classroom. Let me say that again. There is no eating or drinking water, Gatorade, any type of juice while you are walking in the hallway. That means early in the morning, coming from breakfast, heading to literacy lab or heading to homeroom, you need to put the top on your drink and walk to your homeroom. There is no eating chips, anything in the middle of the hallway. The only places that you will eat and drink is in the cafeteria and in the classroom whenever you are eating lunch in the classroom or there is some specific party. We are not, and we're asking once again, do not eat any type of chips because there will be a consequence if we catch you eating or drinking in the hallway. Also, when you go to the cafeteria, you walk with your class to the cafeteria, and when you leave the cafeteria to go back to your classroom, you walk back with your class. Once again, there will be a consequence. This is not time for you to break off and say, I had to go to Student Services, I had to go to Miss Carson, I had to go find this person, I had to go to the gym, I had to go to the front office. No. At this time, when you leave the classroom to go to the cafeteria, you need to walk with your class. When you leave the cafeteria to go back to your class, you need to walk with your class. There will be a consequence, once again, if you do not walk with your class from the classroom to the cafeteria and from the cafeteria back with your class. There will not be any excuses of saying the teacher shut the door on me and didn't allow me into the classroom. If you walk with your class and stay in line walking on the right-hand side of the hall, you will make it back to your classroom with the rest of your class. Also, do not leave the cafeteria without permission. When you are eating in the cafeteria, you must ask one of the connection teachers, ask myself, any faculty or staff member, an assistant principal, or any type of faculty or staff member. Do not run out of the cafeteria. If you leave the cafeteria without letting an adult know, there will be a consequence for that. Also, you need to sit at your table when you're eating. When you first walk into the cafeteria, we tell every class to go directly to their table and sit until we tell you which lunch line to go to. When we tell you which line to go to, you need to go to that lunch line, not stopping at any other tables, hugging, talking to other students. You need to get your lunch, go directly back to your table, and stay seated at your table. And also the expectation is for you to throw away your tray and food and juice. Do not get up or jump and move around the cafeteria, and then when it's time to go, you walk off and leave your tray on the table. If I have to check the video cameras in the cafeteria and I find out that it is you that has left your tray, there will be a consequence. And then once again, we will show your parents that video as well. And also, we are asking you to not wear hoods in the building. In the building means walking in the hallway or in the classroom. Wearing a hood. We do not want students to wear their hoods this way. This is still wearing your hood in the school, even if it's halfway on. This is still wearing your hood in the building. No hood should be worn in the building. This is the way that the hooded jackets or shirts should be worn. No hood should be on your head at any time while we are in the school building. That is walking in the hallway or in the classroom. And last but not least, you also need to make sure that when you walk into each of your classes, that you give your teacher your cell phone, and at the end of the class, your teacher will give you your cell phone back. The teachers are not trying to keep your cell phone, but we are trying to make sure that you are paying attention and that you are getting all of the instructional things that you need in the classroom. Once again, this information that I've given you, you will be held accountable from this point on. So students, remember, as we always say each and every day, remember, one good or bad choice could alter the very course of your life. So please choose wisely and make today your best day ever, each and every day, and have a great day of teaching and learning at Woodland Middle School. Thank you.